Um, I will start with that. I'm going to San Francisco in October. So there will be a weekend from Saturday and a Sunday, 1 and 2 October. So we can join if you want to come to San Francisco. And it's the afternoon from 2 till 6. You can see it on my website, and the details of the venue will come later. It's still on, we're still busy with that, with somebody who's living there. So I'm coming to the United States. That will be fun. And you can, if you want to join, you can write me an email, and you will hear from me what's going on next. Okay, there's also a possibility to chat in an individual chat. We can do that on the Zoom, but you can always call me like during the day, and we can have a chat like that, and that's just normal, like friends communicating. If you want some longer, then I will ask you a little thing for money to when it's like an hour or something. So we have, and we discussed that if that's not possible, then it's okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, I start talking. This is all there is, this, and this is very simple, very normal, very easy. Nodding the head, a feeling, a tone. It's just what is happening. It's the most simple message there is. There's nothing more than that. Nothing is happening. That's also a bit crazy because we are so into stories and events and circumstances. There's nothing happening, and everything is an appearance. So nothing is happening, and in the same time, it's apparent everything. That's crazy. Maybe now a lot of people who are watching the video are going out. This is only an appearance. When there's someone and there seems to be I am here and there's other people, then everything seems real and solid. That's the normal way, and it's grown up and believing, or it's just an embodied belief that everything is real and solid, and I am here, so I have to deal with that. And it's possible that I can deal with that because I have a free will and a choice to do that and to change the circumstances or whatever happens to make my life more comfortable or happy. That's the normal way of thinking, and trying to find out when it's not comforting, when there's a disappointment, when there's a searching for something because it's not really satisfying. The search is always in the story. So the story means that it's in circumstances, trying to have better circumstances, to work on your relationship, to make money, to feel safe. There are a lot of things that we can try, and we do try to make it more comfortable. But it's always for a moment, or it doesn't even happen. So it's a never-ending story. So there seems a lot of problems, a lot of suffering seems to be there. And it's only human that have that. Oh, there's somebody coming at the door. But okay, there's a lot of suffering going on. And when there's suffering, that means that it feels like it's not right, and it has to be better. I'm a bit distracted because there's a lot of noise in there. It always has to be something else. And that's that whole me construct. It seems like when there's me, there seems like there's something going wrong. There's something gone wrong. And how can we make it right? And we make it right in circumstances, in relations, in everything. And then that whole construct of me is starting when a child is very young. And there's starting a construct and feeling like I am someone and I'm able to make my life work. And there's a possibility. So there's growing up into that, and it's so embodied. And there's a disappointment because it's never the way you think it should be. There's always something not right. The strange thing is, okay, that when there's me is, there's something not right, and we have to make it right. There's something wrong, there's something missing, and I have to do something to make it right, or not do something, or what can I do to make it right? When there's me, it's like there's something lost, and it feels like it's about feeling happy, because there's something lost, and we can't remember, or it's not that like, oh, there was something and that's missing. And we fill in, it's filled in like, it's about feeling happy and moving away from pain. When there's something going on, like pain or stress or things like that, and there's no one, there's nothing trying to change it. That's the loss. The loss is that whole construct of me, that means that there's something wrong, there's something missing, and we have to fix it. That is lost. For the rest, everything is going on, and it's in the same time it's also it's seen. It's not even seen by the eyes, but you can't say it's obvious that the world is not real. So that's the freedom. That's the freedom. There's nothing going on. There's no wrong or there's no right. There's what's happening. There can be pain, there can be anger, there can be stones, it can be falling. It's nothing is denied. It's everything. It's everything. And there's nothing going on when there's no one, and it's obvious there's no one, then that's lost, that there's trying to change something, because it's everything. And when there is me, there's always underneath something going on, like there's something not right. There has to be change, and the words maybe can be different, and it can be much more subtle. But there's something going on, like healing, or make it better for everybody, or transformation. We use other words. But it's the same thing. It's always, I am here, there has to be change something, and then everybody feels more happy, more relaxed, more free, anything like that. And it's always for a time, because it's in time and it's in the real world. So it seems like that can be working on feelings, or trying to earn enough money or power. And it's for a while. It can make some comfortable, but there's always the other side, and it's endless. And there's still some searching going on. So maybe some suffering going on, problems are going on. And there can be a search when people are not so much into power or money or things like that. There maybe is like non-dualism. And when there's non-dualism, there can be the same search, like, there's talking about no me, and how can I get rid of that whole me construct, or how can I reach that enlightenment, or things like that. It's the same search is going on, but then in non-dualism, and trying to heal, and that you don't feel the me anymore, or anything like that. There are a lot of different non-duality teachings, or therapy, or things going on. This is about no one. So there's no therapy, there's no teaching. This is it. And it's not nice or right or wrong or happy. It's not about that. It's about no one. So there's no one trying to change anything. It's not about Rose, you could say, like an example. It's not about Rose or experiences of Rose. When there's pain, then there's pain for no one. And it's not even felt in the body, it's somewhere. They can be going to the doctor, then they're saying maybe, oh, there's pain in my leg, or things like that. Everything just goes on, but it's empty. It's crazy. This is a message you can't understand. It doesn't need understanding because that what's happening is already it. So there's no need for understanding. There's no need for doing or not doing. It's everything already. There's no need for anything. That's huge. It's already what's happening. And there can be a lot of thoughts like, no, I can't hear this and that. Then that's what's happening. This has nothing to do with understanding or being clear or a me falling away, something like that. And in the same time, in the story, they can be talking about that seems that their me was falling away. But in the same time, when that happens, when they're talking about that, in the same time, it's said like, there was a me falling away, and it was suddenly also realized there never was a me. So there already is no me. So nothing is needed. That's strange because we are into need and taking care, responsibility. That all gets off the table. It's what it is. That's it. And it's underneath the words. The words here are said. They're not important. They don't need to listen. They don't need to write it down. And if writing down things that happens, then that's what's happened. There's nothing wrong, but it's not in the words. You can hear the words. There's underneath the word. There's something going on. You can't say what it is. It's energetic. There's not seeing anybody. They're not seeing that there's something wrong. There are no answers. And that's most of the time it's different than other meetings about therapy, about wanting to reach something. There's nothing to reach. This is it. This is it already. And it's very simple and very tiny and very ordinary. It's walking. It's a table. It's eating cheese. That's it. So we can talk about that, and maybe there are questions, or maybe there's nothing going on. It doesn't matter. If there's a sharing, then you can share what's going on. And if you want to say something, you can unmute yourself and start. Oh, there's a chat. When things are happening to no one, there's no need trying to solve issues or trying to work towards something. No, it's not coming. It's not coming up. How do you say that? It's not arising. It's not that I think, oh, there's no need to do something about it. It's not there. It's lost. So it's not coming. Some things are happening. It's not happening to no one. That's the thing. We think it's happening to Rose, you see. Nothing is happening to me. Things are happening. So there can be somebody shouting, I don't know. Or there can be anything. It has nothing to do with anyone. So there's already no one. There's already no me, but it's also somewhere else. There's not seen anyone. So there's no trying to work it out. That's not there. Trying to change it. That's lost. That whole me construct is there's something wrong and I have to do something about it. And it's up to me to do that, or what kind of beliefs there are. And then suddenly that whole construct is just falling apart. It's not there anymore. And then it seems like, oh, but it's what it is. That's it. It's not nice or anything. It can be any feeling, or can be falling on the stones. It can be anything. But there's nothing going on trying to change it. Change can happen, but that's what's happening. And that whole thing about thinking about it and thinking, oh, what did I do? Oh, how could I do that? Oh, maybe there's something like that. That whole dream isn't there anymore. It's lost. And that dream of trying to make it happen or think or solve problems or things like that. That seems very important and it's going on all the time. And it seems like that's how my life is going, and that helps that it's going right, or there's some control in it. There never was control. There never was control. That's amazing. That's huge. It's what it is. That's it. There's no power in thoughts at all. That's amazing. And there's another message. This message is giving nothing, and this body is still listening to this. Yeah, there can be listening. It's not the body is listening. There can be listening, hearing words, sitting here, sitting. It's more even, it's sitting, not here. There's no here. There's no here. There's no there. There's no inside, no outside, no before, no after. There's this. There's no front or behind.
Hey Rose.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
It seems very, very strange comparing to what an eye can experience and so on.
Yeah.
And strange, I think it's a good word because it is strange.
Yeah.
Or yeah, or what would you say comparing to again, this before the I apparently fall away and so on. Is it strange, or is it just obviously, as you said?
The strange thing is, there's talking about it and talking with people and in the story, and then realizing realizing, oh, there's something different, but it's so normal. It's not strange. It's immediately it's very normal. So it's forgotten how it was most of the time. Sometimes some things can come back. But there's a remembering of being in the story and before and after and time and everything going on like that. And then nothing is going on like that. It's so crazy because we're so into time and consequences and before and after and then suddenly it's so, and it's also forgetting that there's something going on. It's not during the day that there's like, oh, there's nothing behind that. That's not going on. There's just living, very simple, and nothing going on like naming it or seeing it or just walking. That's it. Nothing going on about, oh, this is walking now. It's much more simple because that's what we're used to. That there's always a reporter going on, like what's going on and how is it and da da da, and that's lost. But it seems like it's quiet. That it's quiet, but in the same time, it's so ordinary. It's not noticed. There's no awareness, so it's not noticed. Just going like that. It's very, very normal. That's yeah, I can say that.
Yes, so maybe it would be more right to say it is strange that the I can, maybe the opposite is more strange.
Yeah, that's it. But it becomes very clear because there's so many abstractions and so many beliefs and concepts, and it's not even questioned. And it's like, oh, when I'm thinking, then I'm going the right way because I'm going for it and things like that. That free will is a cramp. It's like there's just what's happening, and then there's something like a cramp because that's when there's separation, then there's suddenly like there's something like I'm here, and that free will is like I want that, and what can I do for it? And sometimes it seems that it's convincing that it's, oh, it helps or it's going the right way because of me, but for not, a lot of times it's not working like that. So there's disappointment or I'm not good enough or all those things too. That's it's a crazy world. But it's so convincing. It's not only in the mind, it's so embodied. So feels so it's when it's a belief and it's an embodied belief, the experience is confirming it. That's how when you see it in a certain way, it's because of me, it's going like that. When there's a belief like that, then it's like that. So it doesn't matter, because nothing is real. So then there's that belief. So it doesn't matter. But for that person, it seems like, oh, it's not working, and how can I do it differently? What can help me? Maybe non-dualism can help me, or something else. That's what we're looking for. Yeah. And it's that moving the head. That's it. It's awfully simple in that sense. It's so simple that we think, it's sitting, so what? Think, nothing, you can't grasp it in that sense because it's too simple. It's the only thing there is. It can't be wrong. It's everything, so it can't be wrong. That's an amazing to hear, that it can't be wrong. It's everything. We are so into now, this is right, this is wrong, this is better. And then there's a hearing like, oh, it's everything. Everything? How is it possible? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Okay, thank you, Rose.
Thank you. Mm. This message is not giving anything. And it's a bit strange that when they're saying it's everything and there's nothing wrong, there's no need to give, because then when there's giving something, intentionally giving something or helping people in that sense, there's assuming that there's something not right. And that's lost. And when that's lost, that's amazing, because there's nothing wrong with anything. There can be pain, of course, and it can be strong. But that's pain. It's not wrong.
Hello, Rose, it's Christiane.
Hi, Christiane.
Hello. So I'm it's convincing. I'm convinced that that contracted energy, the I, has influence on my body. If I don't stand straight, I have pain, and if some so. So you say that the contracted energy, the I, don't have power on the brain, don't have consequences on the, don't have effect on the body.
No, nothing has effect. No.
No.
It's very convincing that because of I do this, or there's a contraction, then that's going in a certain way, because we are so living into this is because of that, because and yeah. Even when it's happening very fast after each other, it's very normal, or yeah, convincing more. It's in the story, it seems very normal. There's only this. There's no time. The time, and that can be. We think about time like more in bigger things, like, but before and after, that seems like, yeah, but I felt it, and after then I did that, and after that that's the abstract mind that can think about there's something before and then there's something after, when there's no, that whole abstract, that whole construct doesn't function, not function, but doesn't have that dream, that belief is not more. Then it's just this, and has nothing to do with something before. That's the freedom, but that's also so crazy. And when it's used to think like that, but when it's lost, it's like oh yeah, and then it's forgotten and it's just going. No big deal.
So, if there's no after, a person with a sickness, the doctor said it's chronic, it could suddenly go away, the sickness. It could vanish, or we don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, everything is possible. Yeah.
Everything.
So it doesn't mean that you say like, oh, everything can happen, so I do it like this because I'm yeah, because then it seems like you can don't do. It's about not doing anything anymore.
Yes,
that's the opposite. That's the same thing, of course.
Yeah.
You don't know. You don't know. There's only not knowing. You don't know. And we think we know. We want to know because that feels more safe or more convenient, that we know, like, if I do that, that will be better, or things like that. Sometimes it seems like that, and sometimes it's not. So, yeah.
Yes, it's the freedom. Yeah, okay.
It's the freedom also, but when there's, yeah, depending on control and feeling like I'm in control, and what if I do something that works for me and that gives a better feeling, or I feel more comfortable, or the pain is leaving, or things like that. So it feels like I'm in control of my life. So that gives a safe feeling, but there's always something going on, like, oh, and sometimes it happens, sometimes not. It's something, and then when there's not knowing. It's not about being safe. There's no safety. It's free fall. But it's already like that. But it's so convenient to believe there's something going on, like control or feeling safe.
Yes.
That's the freedom. The freedom is everything, but it's so free that can be frightening also, because it's so amazing free. It's everything. So it can be anything. There's no control, no direction. That's, yeah. And in the same time, it's very simple. It's amazing. It's big in a way when there's control, and it seems like, oh my God. And then suddenly it's like, oh, yeah. And when there's thinking, when there's that belief, or it doesn't feel like a belief maybe, but that it's very like, oh, there's before and after, then that's what's happening. It's not that that's wrong or something like that, because then that's a new belief, like, oh, I should more, like, oh, there's no before and after. Yeah, that's a concept. That's the same what we normally do, that we want to de-believe, or how do you say that, disbelief. It's not about that. When that's there, then that's there. So what? That's not wrong.
Yeah.
But then suddenly it's less important, less strong, less convincing, maybe. So that's the falling away and the losing of that. It's more like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. it's so amazing when that whole construct isn't arising anymore, and it's look like it always was like that. It always was like that. It's what's seemingly when there's a parent happening, or you don't see that, it doesn't matter. But it's only an appearance, and it's happening, and it's like that. There never was control. There never was free will or trying to solve it. There never was anything wrong. And when that separation is there, and I'm here and you are there, then suddenly there's two, and there's good or wrong, and there's feeling nice or feeling awful. And it seems like I can do something about it. I have to do something about it. And it's a dream. It has always been a dream in that sense. There never has been something before, but it's only a dream. Without any power at all, that never has been. So there's still, and there always was there, things happening, there's things happening and going and walking and that, and trying to do that. But that's the whole dream, and that seems very important. And in the same time, there's walking and sitting and things. It always has been like this. There's nothing change when that whole construct isn't there. There's nothing lost. It was already like that. The only thing that dream isn't functioning, but it was already a dream. So nothing is lost or nothing. There's nothing happening in that sense, and nothing changing. It's the same. It's already like this. It's already walking, and it's not, I'm going to my work. It's just walking, and then there's maybe sitting somewhere. That whole dream about what's going on and consequences and relations and everything, that's lost, but it wasn't real already. So that makes it very simple, and it's like, oh, it's already like that. So there's nothing different in that sense. So there's no difference between me and other people, of course. There's already no me. It's only that dream that maybe is very convincing. What? Yeah. That's it. Nothing is needed. It's already complete. It's already complete, like it is. That's it. Wow. Yeah. Rose, do you feel less attachment to people in your life now? That's personal questions. How can I say this? There's no Rose. There are no other people. That's what's happening. Attachment is a word what's in the dream of me. So there's nothing going on about attachment or things. That word isn't happening. So there can be, I don't know, it's so simple. There can be seeing another one, seeing other people, and there can be talking, and there's nothing going on about, there's no awareness, so there's nothing going on about how do I do it or things like that. And then it's so simple, you can't explain how it works. It's what happens, that's it. There's nothing going on about attachment. There's nothing going on like my life. There is no my life. That's lost. There's no Rose. There's even no Rose. That's more like it. There's no Rose. Yeah, that's the freedom. Because nothing is going on about when there's me. It's about everything is about me. I want to feel good. Oh, this is my life and my body. So how can I do that? And then that's all lost. And there's no one. There's no Rose. Nothing is important anymore. It doesn't matter because it's everything. It's everything. And there's nothing going on about, oh, this is better than that. Or that wanting. That's also something in the dream of me. That's not happening. Yeah, there can be like, oh, I want to live in a big house. Oh, I would like to live in that house. Yeah. And then it's gone like normal. So, yeah, so that's nothing. All those wanting and thing, it's empty. Everything is empty. So there can be said anything. It doesn't matter what is said. And it's not about truth. It's not about being right or things like that. Or now it's an amazing life. No, it's just normal, silly, everything. Can be anything. Forgetting, I don't know, being late. Normal, just normal. And then, but there's nothing going on. It's me doing that. That's the freedom. And it can be shock, like there's something happening. Or anything can happen. It's just everything, of course. There's nothing trying to deal with anything. That's not happening. So all those words like consequences, trying to deal, responsibility, they don't arise. Or they don't arise, how I say that? They are not there. No. So there's not also thinking like, oh, this is now happening less than before, so it's going better. That's what me does. Like, oh, now it's going better because I'm not so attached anymore, and I did some work on myself, or there was something more clear, and now it's less there. There's no less and no more. That doesn't happen. There's no less or more. There's no comparing. That's not happening. And it's not that I'm convinced that it's not less or more. It's not there. You can't imagine this. You can't think about how it will be. There is no how it will be. That's impossible. It's impossible. I don't know how it is. I don't know. I can't say how it is. I don't know. There can be pain and saying, oh, there's so much pain suddenly. Then that's what's happening. That can happen. That's Yeah. We think it's my life. How can I deal with things? How can I lose that me? How can how does Rose do it? And maybe I can hear something about that. Rose doesn't do anything. There's no Rose. So there's no example. They're not all roses. They're all different names and body minds. It's all different. It's unique. It's unique. It's exactly that. Why listen to Rose how she does things? It's really it's not important at all, because that what's happening, what's doing that person, what's doing, that's it already. So comparing with Rose, it's nonsense. Can happen. It's not wrong, but doesn't bring you anywhere. And feel free to ask these questions, because it's not wrong to ask about my life and attachment and anything, because that's how we think. And that's can be like, oh, there's a question about that, and how do you do that? There can be questions about that. So it's not wrong. It's like there can be an explaining about how that's done. There can be some answers about that. I don't know, but so don't think it was wrong. Yeah.
Hey, Rose.
Hi.
I think it looks like it always comes down to there's no me.
Yeah.
That's the final explanation.
Yeah, but it's already, there's also no Rose. There's no Rose without a me. That's what people think. No, it's worse than that. It's more free, because there's no Rose.
There's no center anywhere, I guess.
No, there's no center. So there's no. And because that, what we normally think, I'm here, or maybe without a me, because that's the non-dual thinking now, then that feels like, oh, then it's going better with me in a way, because we want to feel good about ourselves or things like that, or feeling happy or things. And this message is not about feeling comfortable, happy, anything. It's everything. That's completely different as a lot of things that we're teachings and talking about.
I guess we spend a lot of time trying to stop things from coming in and trying to hold things that are leaving.
Yeah, sure. It's endless.
Yeah. Sounds exhausting.
It's exhausting, because there's all that underneath that, there's always something subtle or stronger going on, like there's something not right yet, or the missing, or it can be better, or it can be more. We have all kinds of way to how do you say, not to say right and wrong, because we know it's not about that. So there are other words, but it's the same story. It's the same belief.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's so strong. It's so strong. I know. It's so convincing, and it's going. It's not even you doing that. It's so strong. It's just like that. Yeah.
Thank you, Rose.
Yeah. Thanks.
Hello, Rose, it's Christiane.
Hi.
Hi. So I know I feel that to be a me, it's exhausting. I take a lot of energy. That's why I was thinking that it could cause stress and sickness because it's take a lot of energy, and that energy that it take a lot of energy could cause sickness. That's why I have that belief.
Yeah, I can hear that. I can hear that. It's in the story. It seems very convincing. It's like that, and in the same time, there can be stress. It can be such here also.
Yeah.
And that whole thing about there's stress, and I can, oh, what's going on here? I can do that. That's confirming that whole, story about stress and belief and things like that. But that's. I don't know how it works. There can be stress in the body, but it's just stress, and there can be an illness, maybe. There can be like that. But it's amazing to hear that there are no consequences and there's nothing going on like this is because of that.
Yeah.
It's only that. Yeah. That knocks that whole system, that it doesn't feed that system. But you can't do that. That's the awful thing about this message. You can't do that. You can't think to yourself, oh, I don't want that, or don't do that. It's about loss. So there can be hearing this and sitting in meetings, or I don't know, something else. And then there's something else going on. Like it's energetic. And that's losing, or there's holes in that system, or there's something not that important anymore, or it's falling a bit down because it can't be believed that strongly anymore. So it's falling a bit down, but it can be a bit fearful, or so that's how it goes. And there's no homework, there's nothing need to understand what is said here or busy with that. It can be. Then that's what's going on. It doesn't need to. There's no need for anything. And there's no consequences. Because then we think, because that me, that's so strong in myself and so strong in that. There's already no me. There is already nothing going on. There can be stress. That's it. That's it. That's not because then when there's something like, that me, that gives so much stress, and then maybe that illness because of that stress, I have that, then there's something, you do something wrong because there's still that me going on, and it can be very subtle. This can be stress or illness, COVID or whatever, I don't know, can happen. So that's life.
That's life.
Yeah. And that's the freedom. That's the freedom. It's not about feeling good or more healthy now. Now there's no me, everything is more healthy. Oh no, it's not like that. No. That's the dream of me also. Huh? Finally, if I lose the me, then finally my life will be more healthy and more yeah. It's a dream. It's a dream. Yeah. Wanting to feel good about yourself or feel good. It's everything. So I don't know. There can be a lot of pain. I don't know. Yeah. No control. No consequences. No consequence. That feels it in a way. It can it can also be a relief. Like, there's always something. Do I do it right or things like that? And there are no consequences.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because we also can be afraid of what's going on. I did eat the wrong things, and now I feel like things. It's always something. Yeah. And then no consequences. Wow, that's freedom. And it's like, can that be possible? Yeah. It's not about belief, but it's like suddenly that can come in or something. And then maybe it's changing or not. I don't know. Yeah. This message is amazing because it's so free and so nothing going on, but this is right or wrong. And in that whole me construct, in that whole thing, it's so built on there's something wrong. And that's so embodied and so normal and so convincing, and not even thinking about that it's that, because it's so, yeah, like that. It seems like that's it. And then suddenly there's hearing like, oh, there's another possibility. Huh? So, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Or,
Thank
oh,
you.
help can also. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose.
I'm really thinking there's a strong me in here, as somebody's saying. So it's also wanting to be death. Yeah, that death can be like the end of the problems, the end of the struggle, the end of the story, you could say. That's finally, it's about that. When it seems to be a me, that can be very strong and convincing. There's already no me. There's no me. It's what's happening. There's nothing to do with somebody inside there. It's empty. There's nothing inside. It's empty, and there's energy going and in a certain way. Nothing to do with a me or somebody or other person. It's like it's energetic. There's already no one. Never has been there. No guilt. No. But I guess there's a kind of peacefulness in you, because there's not a search anymore for something. You call it peacefulness? I don't know. There's nothing going on, like there are no problems or things like that. So it's quiet in a way. You could say that when you think about when there's this meeting, then you could say like it's quiet, but it's everything. So there's joy. Life is joy. But it's not Rose lives in joy. Like everywhere, it's joy. It's just that's joy. It's subtle, but it's like aliveness. Like really little children, you feel, you can see that. It's that what I mean. And then and the same time there can be anything like pain, feelings, walking, stress. Eating cheese, anything. So it's not like, oh, there's always a feeling of peace. That's what we make of something like, there's my life, and how do I feel? What is my normal way? I'm a person that has a lot of this and has a lot of that, or is very peaceful. There is no one. So there can be anything. So there can be stress, there can be nothing, or there can be working in the garden, or everything. It's not from Rose. It's not my life. There's no one. So you can't talk about there's a lot of peacefulness in Rose. There is no Rose. There's no inside. There's no inside, there's no outside. That's what's happening. So there can be anything, and it's an appearance. So everything is an appearance, and it's energetic, and we think, oh, this body is like, oh, this is inside, I am there, and no, it's one big soup. I don't know how you say that. And there seems to be the things going on there, but they are. It's not real. It's colors and things like that, and mixing, and it's It's not about I am here in my life and you are in my life and we're meeting, we have relations, we have consequences, we have circumstances. All that is a dream. This is really radical message, because that whole thing that's going on, that seems to go on in the world and in my life, and that it's a dream. That's amazing, because that seems to me the most important thing, and what I'm being busy with all day, and what's going on and how can I do it, and it's a dream. It's not real. And that what's happening, that moving the hand of that very simple thing, a table, it's there and it's not in the same time. You can't even imagine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No need for that. Why should you? It's not about knowing, of being clear. That can say something or not, doesn't matter. So it's not about my life, it's life. And that's everything. So it can't be wrong. It's the way the face is looking, how it's moving, how the words are coming. It's everything. Life isn't interested in being nice or something. That's more that abstract dream of me that seems like thinking I can do something about that. Saving the world, helping people, anything like that. It's a dream. This is very radical, this message. But that's freedom. That's the freedom. It's everything. And there's no search anymore. It's also not like that. It's no, because that what's happening is it. And that's what we are doing normally, what most people do. It's like reporting what's going on, or being busy with that, or is there a search still going on, or this feels like that's lost. That looking at yourself, or that whole awareness thing, or that being busy with that. So it's when there's something going on and then there's something else going on, that before that is lost already. So in normal words, I can't remember so much. My husband calls me the empty head, because I forget everything. Because it's not needed. It's not because it's not needed. No, that's not the right word. But it's new. Everything is new. It's this, and there's no before. And there can be a remembering, of course. It's not completely empty-headed. Well, yeah, it's no need for remembering. It can be there or not. Doesn't matter. Another question. Can there still be a reaction like, I don't want this? Can happen. Yeah, not that, no. Not so much, but can happen. Then suddenly you're in the rain and it's like, oh, and I have no coat, and and then suddenly it's completely dark and raining. Like, oh, I don't want this. Just that. And then, yeah, what to do? And then it's going. It's very simple. It's like that. It's not really, I don't want this, and then there's the whole thing about it. It's only, there can be that thought, and that's it. There's no story. There's no story. But there can be still, the abstract mind is still working, so there can be, thinking, I have to do some shopping, and I make a list, and it's that. It's not really the same as a dog, but in a way it's the same. But in that sense, there's still something going on. Don't try to work it out. Don't try to understand this. Never will. It doesn't need to understand. It's much more simple. It's coming underneath the words. And there's something going on already in those meetings, some energetic things, and that's it. Doesn't need to know. What is indecision? I don't know. It looks like it's me, but there's no me. What is indecision? I don't know what indecision is. Decision is a. Did you make a decision? Oh, besluiteloosheid. Indecision. Okay. We call it indecision. Then when there's, say, sitting and you don't know, there's a question in your head like, what do I have to do? Can I do I go outside or will I stay inside? And what's going on and things like that. And you don't know, and then there's some indecision. That's a story. You're sitting, and maybe there's something else is happening. Maybe there's standing up, I'm walking or not. It has nothing to do with decisions or not decisions or anything. That's a story. It's the abstract mind thinking like, hey, we have a decision, so you can't decide, so maybe it's better than da-da-da-da-da. That's a story. That's the abstract me thing that you have to want something, you have to decide. There's nothing deciding. That's the dream. That's what's happening. And that can be sitting, there can be a lot of thoughts, there can be going outside or watching television, or seeing stones. I don't know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's happening also. Well, okay, that's something else. So it's in the story. It's much more simple. It's not about I have to decide what do I want. Oh, that's also an awful question. It doesn't matter. That what's happening is it. So it doesn't matter if you know what you want. It's completely useless. I can feel very tired. What is tiresome? All those words. Can be very tired. Yeah. That's because that's whole thinking about I have to know it, and what can I do? What's the best thing? And that can be very tiring because you think you have to know. That's where we used to be growing up, like you know what's important and you do the best thing for yourself and da-da-da-da-da. It's a dream. That takes so much energy, and it's nothing. It's just a dream that seems like very important, and it's just nothing because that's what's going on. That's it. That's already going on. It has nothing to do with a decision or not a decision. It has nothing to do with that. It's what's going on. It's just what's happening. And we think we have decided that. I'm going outside because I decided, yeah, finally I think it's the best to go outside. So that's because I did think for myself, oh, yeah, I think it's after long thinking, yeah, I decide I'm going outside. And then there's walking outside and I think, oh, that feels good. So, that was a good decision. It's a dream. It's by itself. It's happening by itself, or something else is happening. It has nothing to do with that whole thinking. That's just that are just reporting, thinking without any power. It doesn't have any power, and we think it has the power, the most power of everything, because that's how our lives work. That we take the right decision, the right thinking about what's the best for me. Oh my God, so much energy. It's what's happening. Much more simple. And it's not about feeling good. That has nothing to do with that. Life isn't interested in us. Life is. It's energy, emotion, anger, stones, everything. Mm. And it can be tired. And you think, oh, it's because that can also happen. That you think, oh, that's because all those thinking and I was busy with the decisions, and that's what we earlier talked about. And that's because I'm now so tired because of that. No, that's the same dream and the same story about there's something wrong and I have to do different. And when there's being tired, there can be like that. And that's that. Then that's what's happening for no reason. Wow, no consequences. That's amazing. That's another. Oh, the connection is not. Well, I hope I can be understood. Some spiritual teachers recommend to just sit down and wait until there's an impulse coming to do something. Yeah, they talk to someone, and then the endless thing that's going on. Oh, maybe that will help, so I can do that. Yeah, I don't see anyone, so I don't see that there's something wrong with not knowing. It's just not knowing, and it's not up to us to do. It's happening, or not, or something else is happening, or whatever happens. It's like it's up to you. It's always saying it's up to you. There's no you. This is complete different message than all those teachings about how to live your life in a way. So it doesn't touch anything. It's completely different. It's out of the story, out of being someone. That's completely different. This message has nothing to do with the story. That's another possibility. And that's the radical. It's everything. And when it's in the story, there's something, this should be better than that, or there's always two. And when there's only one, and it's not about good or bad, it's about what is. And it's completely radical. It cannot be something else, because then otherwise it's always two. It's always like, oh, maybe that's better, or maybe that's a good way, or seeing someone and having an advice, or saying something to trying to understand, seeing someone, that's already two. So it seems like there's someone and there's trying to make your life work. There's no life there's no your life, there's only life. That's completely out of the story. There's nothing going on, and that seems to be a lot of going on, like lamps and cars and feelings and everything. And that's the appearance, that's the everything. It seems to be that there's a lot of things going on, and at the same time it isn't there. So it's not, and it's apparently everything. So that's knocks everything down, and it's completely not understandable. It's a mystery. It's a mystery, and it can't be understood. It doesn't need understanding. That's the joy. Because we think, oh, understanding will help us make our lives better, or the world, or the earth, or everything that seems to be there. It's not about understanding. It's about the very simple moving the hand, eating a sandwich. It's that simple. It's sitting. That's it. Nothing more. It's like that. There's no story. That whole construct, like I'm here, and there are relations, and there's circumstances, and the world, and everything is happening, seems to happen to me, or to you, or from you, or it's a dream. It's the abstract mind. No, there's even not a mind, but it's that abstract thinking that people can do. Like they're thinking about there's time, there's before, there's after, there's all those abstract things. Like little children, really little children can't do that. There's only one. There's living, big living, being angry, walking, anything. It's looking, and it's that. And then suddenly after a certain age, a very young age already, then there's like, oh, there's that brain that can abstract. So there seems to be two, like a mother and me, and relation, and then that whole thing about making your life work, and I am here, and what can I do is working. It's like it's working. It's convinced. It's very convincing. And then suddenly that whole construct is not there anymore. It's like, oh, it's this. It's just this. It always has been this. It can't be not this. How can it not be this? This is the best word, because it has now certain how do you say, content or something you can think of. It's just this, and that is moving, or it's everything. It's everything, and that's it, and that's already happening. So nothing to look for. And the searching, it seems like there's a searching going on, because I don't feel there's feelings I'm missing, or not right, or what is going on, I can't understand, or why is this, or that whole search is a misunderstanding. That's the amazing part of that. It's just a misunderstanding. It doesn't matter. It's not wrong, but it's so completely seems the truth. And it's just this. It's very simple, very tiny, not so much going on, trying to work it out. No need for trying to work it out. And that's the freedom. The freedom of the walking is it already. Nothing is wrong, nothing is right. That's amazing, because that's nothing wrong and nothing is right. That's huge. It's what it is. And when they're seeing something else, then that's what's happening. So it can't be wrong. That's the joy. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Great to see you. Bye.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rose.
Bye.
Rose.
Bye-bye.
Ooh, thank you.